So let's talk about what is artificial intelligence. It's a really badly used term. Like, is it the opposite of genuine stupidity? In some cases, I've seen tools that are labeled as artificial intelligence that are at the intersection of artificial intelligence and genuine stupidity. I've seen a lot of genuine stupidity about this, including management thinking they can remove people from the workforce, replace them with AI tools, and be just as productive or more productive. The problem is AI needs a lot of help. In fact, I don't even like using the term AI. I prefer using the name for the actual tools at our disposal. In my case, I mean, there's other people in science labs and other companies that have different experiences, but in my case, it's Copilot, which is a large language model, which means it's been taught material. It has seen what was on the web. It has seen what is in literature. It is reporting back what it has seen published, but it has no actual experience. It doesn't know if what it's telling you is BS or real. In many cases, it hallucinates. So best is using it as a tool to go through known documents that have good data. So how do you get that good data? It takes people, because for the last 50 years, 75 years, maybe 100 years since the 1920s, people have been starting off with very good data sets. Then because of time pressure and resource pressure, those things evolve and the people evolve with it. So they don't mind that the data set isn't clean because they understand the exceptions and they know how to work with it. And when they're preparing data for others like management or sales or people who need the data, they know that this actually means that. And when it says this result, it actually means that result. But it's okay because the person in the middle can translate that for the other people who need the results. The large language model can't do that. It can only deal with what is given. And if it's given garbage, it's going to give you garbage. And unfortunately, through evolution, and nobody's fault, just the way things are, many of these databases, especially in the big companies, have evolved into garbage. So they're semi-useful, useful only if the knowledgeable people are doing the data research, but they're not useful to be immediately taken over by AI tools. This is where the genuine stupidity comes in. So what I recommend you do is think about it this way. I can cut my backyard with a simple power motor. Or if you gave me a rider motor, a rider power lawnmower, I could cut a stadium's grass pretty easily as I'm sitting in the thing and driving it. But getting a more advanced tool with higher capacity doesn't make me a landscape architect. Think of the AI tools, the large language models, as higher capacity tools. They can do much more faster. And if they're given garbage, you get garbage faster. If they're given good material, you get good material faster. But it can't turn garbage into good material yet. I don't know if that's a year away or 10 years away. But this idea that we're going to get HAL from 2001: A Space Odyssey or your favorite robot from your science fiction story in the workplace in the next couple of years is ridiculous. What we're going to get is more advanced search and faster computation and perhaps some basic coding and writing test suites and stuff like that. It's going to need people to make this work. It's not going to replace jobs. It's going to make jobs different. So yes, it's important to learn how these tools work, just like we all learned the Microsoft Office tools in the 90s and 2000s. We all learned how to use the internet, how to use search, how to use social media, how to use email. Quick story about email. When email first came out in the 1980s, it was mostly at universities. So when people graduated, they wanted to continue using email. So all these little startups came up and offered email service so you could continue using email after university. Then email came into the corporations, and people who had been there before this revolution didn't really understand it. And people were sending snarky remarks or even obscene remarks to everybody in the company and getting fired over it because the culture hadn't evolved fast enough to catch up with the technology. And that sounds ridiculous today, especially if you grew up with email. But now we're in a culture where, yes, the younger people are growing up with these artificial intelligence tools. The older people have the experience they bring with them. There's a place for everybody. but it requires some calm thinking. What we need to do is learn how to use these tools to make ourselves more productive, but we're not going to assume they're going to take over our jobs, not right away, but they will transform them. How many times have you seen someone beat a carpet with a carpet beater recently? They use a vacuum cleaner. The story about AI is we think it should be cleaning the toilets while the humans can produce the art. We don't need the AI tools to produce the art. We can do it by ourselves very well, thank you. But use the AI tools to clean the toilets. Use it to clean up the data. Use it to do your market research. Think about the limitations of AI and how you can work with it like a very junior employee without being worried about it taking over your job.